There is nothing on earth quite like it. In scale, it is monumental. In concept, it is visionary. In reality, it is breathtaking and awe-inspiring. This is Mont Saint-Michel on the Normandy coast of France. Located 177 miles west of Paris and 57 miles southwest of the town of Bayeux, Mont Saint-Michel is listed as a World Heritage Site by the United Nations. Much of the surrounding farmland has been reclaimed from the sea. The soil has a salty character that is picked up by the plants and the sheep that graze there. A stop at a nearby biscuit shop offers a great panoramic view of the island and a chance to sample some of the area's famous cookies. When the tides come in, Mont Saint-Michel is an island. When the tides go out, you can walk around it on the mud flats. The tides in this part of France rise by as much as 50 feet, and they move very fast. Any walking on the flats should be done under the supervision of a trained guide who knows the tides and how to avoid the quicksand. In 1897, a 2-mile-long causeway was built. It and the parking area were a great convenience, but they altered the natural ebb and flow of the bay, causing silt to build up. A reclamation project to restore the flow and make sure the island does not become permanently landlocked is now underway.
The problem is that because of that old causeway here, the sand stucks at the bottom of it. So that this land here and this land along the causeway and this land where the camper vans are over there, those lands are not supposed to exist. It's only because of the causeway. So that in a few years, if we don't do anything, Mont Saint-Michel will not be an island anymore. So that's why they built that big dam we can see over there on the river.
I see.
And they, with that dam, they catch water at high tide and they flush it at low tide, so that it takes the sand out of the bay. And they will destroy that old causeway and build another one on pillars like a bridge, so that the water will be able to turn around the island again, and it will help to take the sand out of the bay.
Mont Saint-Michel began in the year 708 after the local bishop received a series of visions from the Archangel Michael. The visions instructed the bishop to build a shrine on top of the island's 250-foot-high granite mountain. Over the next 500 years, it grew and evolved into a major Benedictine monastery and as a pilgrimage destination. A small village grew up to serve the needs of visitors. Today, only about 30 people live in the village. Most of the restaurant and shop workers commute. In the 15th century, fortifications were added to protect the island from the English, who seized much of Normandy during the 100 Years' War. The island was never captured, making it a source of great pride to the French people. Mont Saint-Michel attracts 3.5 million visitors each year, making it France's second largest tourist destination after Paris. The ebb and flow of visitors is something like the tides, dramatic. Between 11 and 4, from late spring to early fall, the place is often packed. There are several hotels on the island. When you stay on the island, mornings and evenings are largely crowd-free. Otherwise, the best advice is to come early in the day or late in the afternoon. There is a lot of climbing, but if you go at your own pace, it's not too bad. Audio guides are available, but may be in short supply. Free English-language guided tours are conducted 4 times each day, which means you may have to wait. A written guide is provided for self-guided tours. Everything wraps around the shape of the rock, which gives the island its distinctive pyramid shape. The West Terrace offers some great views. A fire in 1776 destroyed the part of the church that once stood here. The Abbey Church was constructed on top of the rock. The spire and gilded copper statue of St. Michael was added in 1897 as part of a major restoration. A multi-layered system of galleries and crypts had to be built in order to provide enough flat surface upon which the church could be built. The church is largely Romanesque, but the chancel was rebuilt in the more ornate Gothic style after the original collapsed in 1421. The tour takes visitors into the refectory, where the monks took their meals in silence while listening to a lector read from the Bible. You walk through the cloisters. At one time, The central courtyard was where the monks grew vegetables and herbs. You walked through the great hall where visiting royalty would be welcome, and the Knights' Hall that served as the scriptorum, where monks would work on their manuscripts. From 966 to 2001, this was a Benedictine monastery. Things were kept relatively simple in keeping with the rules of the order. A small number of monks from Paris now keep the monastic tradition alive. From 1793, after the French Revolution, until 1863, Mont Saint-Michel served as a prison. This wheel is an artifact from that era. 6 prisoners would walk inside the wheel in order to hoist supplies along the track. You have 2 options in climbing down from the top of the mountain. First, down the main street of the village, which is usually quite crowded. Or you may choose to walk along the ramparts, which offer some beautiful views of the island. Toward the end of the rampart walk, you re-enter the village, where you can check out the restaurants, famous for their frothy whipped omelets, and the gift shops. Mont Saint-Michel is an extraordinary place, and well worth taking time to travel.